Hi, it's Ngozi. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about natural hair, type 4 hair, 4C hair in particularly, and I do a little bit of wellness and lifestyle. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how often you should be washing your natural hair. So if you're interested, stay tuned. I think there are some things that are a bit controversial when it comes down to natural hair. I'm gonna list a few. Heat, trimming, what do I say, silicones slash sulfates, and what would I say, texture. That's a big one, like the whole typing system, and you know how you fall on the spectrum and how you categorize your hair. But another thing that I think is really interesting, could be a bit controversial, is hair washing. All right, how often you wash your hair. My one friend on YouTube, Evie, she has a lot of great videos. I'll link her down below when she talks about how washing her hair daily really changed the game for her. I'm super proud of her, and I think that it's, a great thing that she's able to do that and see the results and keep up with it for so long. And I noticed even at a point, I used to wash my hair like monthly, and it wasn't good. For you all that are new to the channel, I've experienced itchy scalp, seborrheic dermatitis, been labeled psoriasis. I cured my itchy scalp, and I'll put the video down below of how I did it. And I still struggle with it here and there, but it's nowhere close to what it used to be. Right now, this is 2.5 weeks. I'm gonna wash it in the next few days, and like I'm flaking, but my scalp isn't itching, which is the difference. But I do think this is important because I do think that in our community, we have normalized not washing our hair often. And I get it, especially if you're someone who doesn't suffer with like a scalp condition like me, who your hair doesn't flake, your hair doesn't itch. You feel as if like, I don't need to really wash my hair that often. I remember even like wearing braids and like weaves growing up, and like a lot of people would not wash their braids. And when I would say I wash my braids, they're like, huh, you wash your braids? I'm like, yeah, this is my hair for like 2 months. How could I not wash my hair for a month or two? Or like weaves, like it was like a thing. Like a lot of people would go that long without washing their hair. And I feel like we've normalized it, right? Everyone may not be able to wash their hair every week or, every day or every few days. I get it, because there are a lot of factors that are involved, like your hair length, your hair texture, of course, your time constraints, how you style your hair, what type of styles you wear your hair in. But I think there is at least a bare minimum, right? Me personally, I'm on a weekly hair washing schedule, and I've seen wonders with washing my hair every 2 weeks compared to every 3 or 4 weeks. I've seen wonders, and the goal is to get it to weekly hair washing because, like I said, I have a scalp condition, and now that I'm on the straight hair natural journey, washing and styling my hair is so much easier. So I hope to be able to wash my hair and blow dry it, just wearing a ponytail every week. And I think that's something that I'm getting closer and closer to doing. But right now it's every 2 weeks, and I notice the difference. Like I said, I suffer from flaky scalps and itchy scalps, so I also have that incentive that pushes me also to keep a clean scalp and to wash my hair often. But even if your hair doesn't itch, even if your hair doesn't flake, I don't believe in going months without washing your hair. No, there's no excuse. Trust me, this is coming from a 4C girl that has thick, full hair. I know what a wash day looks like. I know what it looks like to have to take out 6 hours to do your hair. So I'm not talking as someone who is insensitive to this job. I get it, girl. I get it. But a month is too long. It's too long. Months is too long. And let me tell you this, because even with braids, I remember back in the day when I used to get braids live, I'm not really a braider. When you would take out the braids, you would have like a gray film around like where the braid was initially attached, like a gray film, and then you would have the new growth under it. And I remember when I used to take out my braids, let's say I kept it in like 6 weeks or so, 8 weeks, there's like it's like almost like that new growth almost nodded. Like I'm saying, especially because I have thick 4C hair, so the thicker your hair is, you will understand this. It's almost like your new growth is like locking almost. And a lot of that has to do with not washing your hair, not letting, having your hair like the dryness, not washing your hair, and also keeping the styles for too long, which is another, thing. I can make a video on that on its own. When I get braids, it's like 4 to 6 weeks max. I don't really braid my hair though, but that's another factor. And like I said, just because your hair isn't itching or your scalp isn't flaking doesn't mean that you don't need to wash your hair. Like, we need to get that out of our minds. We need to like rewire our brains. And I get it, because I can only imagine if I didn't have my scalp condition and with how long it takes me to do my hair, I probably would be trying to pull that month plus as well. But there's no research, there's no evidence. I know there's used to be a thing that like dirty hair grows. That was like a common, like a saying, like I wouldn't say it's necessarily a myth, because I have seen people, it worked for people, but I think it's less about dirty hair growing and hair that you're leaving alone and not touching growing, which is a difference. The idea behind dirty hair growing is that as Black women, natural hair growers particularly, we manipulate our hair a lot in terms of styling and weaves and braids and all these things. So a lot of times when you just leave your hair alone means that you're not really manipulating it. It will grow, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to wash your hair. Like, washing, manipulating are not necessarily synonymous. You can wash your hair and just put it in a low manipulation style for 2 weeks, right? Versus you just keeping it. And you can also wash your hair in those protective styles. Like I said, when I would tell people I wash my braids, they would be like, oh my God, even my cornrows for wigs, I'll wash those cornrows wigs. I understand to, take out your hair and re-braid it down. It may be a lot of work, energy. If it's been a week, 2 weeks, you have those cornrows in, you want to keep protected style, you want to keep that in for like a month, just wash the cornrows and condition the cornrows. It's your hair. You don't have to take out your braids or take down a style to wash your hair. That also is what makes washing hair more daunting. It's something that you won't do as frequently if you're waiting for it to be like in its like, natural, like single-stranded state to wash it. It doesn't have to be that way. If your hair is in braids, you can wash it. If your hair is in a sew-in, you can wash it. You can go wash your sew-in, get it retightened, let moisture and water hit your scalp. If your hair is in, I mentioned braids, you can wash it. If your hair is in cornrows for like a wig, a braid down, you can wash it. Like, we need to like stop thinking that we can't wash our hair in styles. It's not true. And I think that definitely helps a lot, just adding that moisture and that water back into your hair, because despite what we may think, washing your hair does help it grow, because it helps you keep a healthy scalp. It gets rid of a lot of the buildup that you have on your scalp, and it's hydration. No matter how many oils and sprays you put in your hair, nothing is like you dousing your hair in water and rehydrating it and getting, water into it. And a lot of us, with natural hair suffer with like dry hair, brittle hair, dull hair, and that can be related to not washing your hair enough, because most likely when you're washing it, you're shampooing and you're conditioning. You're right, so you're getting your hair clean and you're also adding in that moisture, all of that protein, what it might be, depending on the type of conditioner you use. You're adding a lot of good stuff back into your hair. So the less you wash your hair, the less opportunity you have to restore your hair with all those important, ingredients. The moral of the story is that you need to find a regimen that's sustainable and that you can stick to and that you can do on your own, or whether you go to the salon. I get it. But we need to, erase a lot of the stigma around washing our hair often. Like I said, it will vary for everyone depending on, the time you have, your hair texture, your length, all those things. But I do encourage washing your hair more frequently. I don't every month, every 2 months. I don't think that's enough. My goal is to wash my hair weekly. I'm doing it bi-weekly now, and I can't wait till I get there. Everyone's gonna be a bit different, but I don't think we should be going a month without washing our hair. I think that's too long. Even 3 weeks is pushing it. I think we should be trying to wash our hair as often as we can and just see how it goes. If you notice your hair isn't flourishing, you can always go back to your own regimen. Like I said, there's no one size fits all. But I don't want to encourage us to make it seem as if like we don't need to wash our hair. Like there's something written, there's like some book that says Black women don't wash their hair. Like, nah, that's not true. Like, we may not have to wash our hair as often. Yes, I get it. I've even met people who are like, from Latin America, they wash their hair every week, very thick, long hair. So it's not necessarily just a black person thing. I think it just depends on the type of hair you have, whether it's really thick, whether it's long, you know, all those things. Because like I said, the time it takes to wash your hair is definitely a barrier for the average person and why they may not wash their hair as often. But let's start washing our hair more often. Let me know down below how often you wash your hair. Are you trying to wash it more often? And also, let's talk about some of the barriers, like why we don't wash our hair as often as we want to, what's stopping us, what we would need to wash it more, and like what our goals are, you know? Because I always talk about, like, there's no point of us talking about, you know, the end without talking about like the foundation, why this thing isn't being done. So if you enjoy videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more content, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.